Back in 2014, Adult Swim's anime block Toonami started airing the ultra-violent and profane Black Lagoon series. The reception online was mostly positive from what I can remember. I, however, wasn't the biggest fan of the show. To this day, I don't see what made the show so great. I just felt like it was a bunch of violence and profanity for the sake of it. The reason why I brought up Black Lagoon is because I was thinking about it the other day after finishing the psychological suspense anime Speedgrapher. While the two series are quite different, what they have in common is the fact that they are both meant for mature audiences, and both series are very graphic and tackle real heavy subject matter. Perhaps it would be unfair to compare these two series since they're from two different genres, so I won't. Plus, this isn't really the point of the video. All I will say is that I enjoyed Speedgrapher a lot more than I did Black Lagoon, and I'd recommend it for anyone looking for a mature and thoughtful series to watch. Speedgrapher is essentially Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut with anime superpowers thrown into the mix. The plot is really simple to follow. A former war photographer, Tatsumi Saiga, is sent to investigate a secret underground club. This club is exclusive to the extremely wealthy, celebrities, politicians, high-ranked law enforcement, and government officials. Saiga stumbles onto their VIP room where a ritual is taking place, and he takes a picture of their goddess, Kagura Tenozu. He is exposed, and the leader of the secret society, Choji Suitengu, orders the members to kill him after Kagura kisses him. Kagura's kiss gives Saiga the power to explode things with his camera, allowing him to escape with Kagura. Throughout the show, Saiga is determined to free Kagura from her abusers and find out what has happened to him. I know these two words have been thrown around a lot, but this series really is dark and gritty. One thing I can appreciate is that just about every sexual or violent act depicted is shown for a reason. The members of the secret society go to the club in order to satisfy their own perverse pleasures. I won't be showing pictures of any of this stuff, but just know that this series is not safe for work. One act of violence early on that caught my attention was when one of Suitengu's enforcers came to a bar asking about Saiga. He starts grilling the bartender and begins to pour liquor into a glass until it overflowed onto the bar. After the bartender refuses to give up information on Saiga, the guy flicks the cigarette he was smoking out of his mouth and mashes the bartender's face onto the bar, thus burning half of the guy's face. There are other great scenes like this that I won't spoil, but that was one of the more brutal things to watch because of just how realistic the act of violence was. The supernatural elements come into play when Saiga has to fight against members of the club who have also awakened abilities after coming into contact with Kagura's bodily fluids. The powers these people have gained are based off of their secret desires, obsessions, and fetishes. These special individuals are called euphorics and can only be killed by destroying their head. I love the design of most of these character transformations and seeing the characters use their unique powers. The animation is good in general, and despite being able to explode things with his camera, Saiga is put at a disadvantage quite a few times. Fighting aside, the characters themselves and the story overall is well written. Photography is Saiga's entire life, and he doesn't do it for notoriety or nobility. When he finds himself on the run with Kagura, he eventually grows to love and care for her like a father. Kagura's backstory is really sad. I won't spoil anything, but just know that she's an abused shut-in with her horrible mother, who is Suitengu's lover. Kagura is naive and has been sheltered from the outside world, so she must depend on Saiga in order to escape from her mother and Suitengu. Choji Suitengu is a good antagonist whose powers make him a formidable threat to Saiga. His motivations are believable and his revenge plan was smart. I'd have to spoil a lot about his backstory in order to elaborate on his goal and his driving force behind it, so I won't really say anything else. Other characters like Saiga's girlfriend, the trigger-happy, morally gray police officer Habari Genza, and Sujito are not as fleshed out, but they still provide a lot of great entertaining moments. As I mentioned earlier, this show features a lot of harsh and sensitive subjects. There are depictions of child slavery, children being recruited as soldiers and fighting in a war, child abuse, sexual harassment, sex slavery, and other things. But as I mentioned before, these elements weren't introduced unnecessarily. The brutal and perverse acts on display help to establish and maintain a dark tone and an uneasy feeling throughout the series. Speedgrapher rarely reaches the point of self-indulgence, and it isn't pretentious with its message about greed and corruption and really the evil of humanity. The few moments that the show goes overboard with its depiction of sex, it didn't really bother me too much given the fact that the characters involved, given the characters involved and the context of the particular scenes. Thankfully, the show never stops to a complete halt to show nudity just for shock value. The series is paced well throughout its 24 episode run, and it doesn't drag on unnecessarily near the end. Overall, Speedgrapher is a decent anime that I really enjoyed, and I'd recommend watching a few episodes if you're looking for a mature anime to watch. It's definitely not for everybody though. If I had to give it a score, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10, because I'm pretty sure there are some things that you can kind of nitpick here and there about this series. But yeah, let me know if you guys have seen Speedgrapher, and if you guys enjoyed listening to this review, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.